Welcome to segment 7 of Focus on You. Knowing, understanding, and caring for self. Today, our focus is on your thoughts becoming things. Yes, your thoughts do become things. Every experience that you have in life begins with a thought. Therefore, you create your own reality, whether it's positive or negative. How you think determines the quality of your life. I can hear many of you saying, how is that possible? But think about it. Oftentimes, we hear people say, you act without thinking. But is that really the case? We think, we act, whether it's on the subconscious level or on the conscious level or superconscious level. Now, sadly, for many of us, that statement refers to us consciously contemplating what it is that we're gonna do or say. And that is why folks would say, you don't think. Or maybe it's because our actions do not align with their expectations. Yes, people do have expectations of us. They put us in a box. They label us as being of this type of person or the other. And I guess that is where the concept of personality type comes in. But no matter what we encounter from one moment to the next, it all begins with a single thought. Maybe the thought is not active. Maybe we had given some thought to it in the past. Maybe just a few minutes ago we came up with the idea. Or perhaps it was something that someone suggested and we acted on. But no matter what, it began with a thought. So let me put a few questions out there to you. And as always, I hope that you have your paper and pencil, because this session is going to stimulate you to think about some very critical things that you observe in your life and would have experienced as you dialogue with other persons in the past. So, first question, what makes one person successful whilst another is struggling from day to day? What makes that? What causes that? Another question, what makes one individual enjoy a high level of health, happiness, productivity, whilst another person suffers ill health, is sad and depressed, and seem to not be able to get it right? Now, I know that you would have encountered millions of explanations for such states that can provide answers to these two questions. Some people chalk it up to luck. Oh, he's lucky, she's lucky. But are they really lucky? Some folks say, well, it's a generational thing. They inherited generational curses, or they just born into wealth, or they born into this or that. But think about it. There are so many variations of successful people. And guess what? There are variations in families where some individuals are successful while others are not so successful. Some are happy while others are distressed and lost and has no sense of direction. So, is it luck? Is it inheritance? Or is it because of the thought processes that these individuals engage in from one moment to the other, from one day to the next? In previous segments, I would have introduced the concept of persons going down a path because of what they have heard whispered or hammered into their ears repeatedly. I remember stating that our thoughts originate from our environmental exchanges. Remember the teacher, the preacher, the parent, the politician, persons that speak to us. And then there is another element, the media, where we hear things repeatedly in our ears day after day, and we're not able to shake it. And so they occupy our thoughts day in and day out until they become truths. They become things that we believe in. They become things that guide our decisions. They break our confidence or they build up our self-worth. It depends on what we are hearing. And then they play in our minds. Remember the mind, body, spirit connection? Sadly, our minds are by far the most powerful of the three components of our existence. And so, what we hear from day to day, we play it back in our mind. Think about it. Just before you go to bed at night, if we were to turn off the television, turn off the radio, rest in silence, what do you think you would experience? If you've never experienced it before, I encourage you to begin doing it today. Spend some time in silence and listen to what's going on in your head. Thought after thought after thought flows. Are they positive or are they negative? How do they make you feel? Do they make you feel like almost jumping out of your bed immediately and getting to the task of doing some things that needed to be done a year ago, a week ago, a day ago, and they are so important? Or do those thoughts make you feel somehow less of a human, less significant, less important, less loved than you desire to be? How do your thoughts make you feel? Okay, that is at the quiet moments. But imagine when you are at your functional peak. What are the thoughts going through your head? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they uplifting? What do they drive you to do? Because herein is how your thoughts become things. Do they cause you to love and value yourself? Do they cause you to love and value your family, your friends, your neighbors? Or do they engender a hatred that is so strong that you desire to put an end to some things or even some people in a destructive manner? Thoughts indeed do become things. Health-wise, your thoughts can make you better or they can make you worse. I know that you would have heard or perhaps even encountered firsthand individuals who were diagnosed with terminal illness, yes, cancer, lung disease, diabetes, AIDS, COVID, and the response between individuals is so different, where one person crawl up in a corner, take a fetal position, a state of hopelessness, because their thought says there is no hope for me. So what does that thought produce? It produces the things of death, long suffering, or suffering, because long suffering can be positive, where you are literally working through and getting to the bottom and seeking out answers. But that state of suffering where you feel there is nothing I can do, so you go and you develop states of depression and you just vegetate negatively downhill, plummeting downwards day by day, moment by moment. But there are others who take that news and begin to think about the good that can come from it. Not so much to get better, but to maximize the time that they have left, according to the doctors, to do the things that they always wanted to do. You would have seen movies or heard things like bucket lists, where people take an upward turn and say, I'm going to catch up on all those things that I missed through the years, the things that I've been putting off, I'm going to do them now. But then there are others who totally dismiss that diagnosis and says, it ain't finished until God says that it is. And I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. So you see, your thought can go from extreme negativity to extreme positivity. And it is that extreme, wherever you lay on that continuum, will determine the things that are manifested in your life. So, what are the things that are occupying your thoughts right at this moment? Right at this moment, are you thinking, I can't do it? Or are you thinking, I can do anything that I set my mind to, because I can do all things? And you can complete it. Complete the sentence. I can do all things. Bam, bam, bam. Yes. It is the thought that becomes your reality. Your thoughts become things. And our thoughts can keep us caged in, burdened down, negative, unsuccessful, hopeless. Or our thoughts can liberate us to freedom, to succeed at whatever we put our minds to. Yes, there are naysayers. Yes, there are motivators. But it is how we receive what we hear. If we hear it often enough, we believe it. But if we think it often enough, we can achieve it. We can dismiss or accept whatever enters our senses through hearing, through seeing, through tasting, through touching. We are the ones that process that information, and we are the ones that convert that thought into action. And so, my question to you, what will your thought generate for you today? You know, there are lots and lots of cliches that pass through our experiences from day to day. You are what you eat. Live your best life today. Let your food be your medicine. Make yourself your best friend. All of these are ideas that we can build a bright and happy future on, but only if we receive it from a point of positivity and a point of belief in ourselves that we can do it. But what do we do instead? Many of us accept the negative. Many of us accept defeat. Many of us look at bad examples rather than good examples. And we say, oh, if that person couldn't do it, what make you think that I can do it? What makes me think that you can do it is the level of self-confidence that you possess. Forget the naysayers, even if it is your parents, if it is your spouse, if it is your teacher. Determined to show them that they do not have the last word when it comes to negativity. It could be your boss. Too many people speak failure over the lives of others. But that does not mean that their speech is truth or that it has to become truth for you. Whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are of good report, think on those things. Make those your stronghold. Cling to them. Believe in them, because in so doing, you have the opportunity of living your best life. There will not be disease. There will not be distortion. There will not be disorder and discord. Do not allow them to distract you. Instead, choose the positive. In choosing the positive, spend time alone to navigate this world. There is more good to be had. By thinking positively, you stand to gain clarity. You stand to experience serenity. There will be comfort and security. Do you believe in yourself? Think positively about yourself. Boost your confidence. Negativity will never do that for you. Do not compare yourself to others. Think about this instead. You have access to everything that the person who appear to be leading a successful, happy life has at their disposal. Yes, God has given you equal. He does not favor one person over the other. We are all equal in His sight. Do not focus on what is before you. You may live in an impoverished state. You may live in a palace. But what is in your thoughts? That's determining the quality of life that you lead. There are persons that are in poor states by human standards, but they are happy, they are well adjusted, they are healthy. And then there are others that live in ideal environments, but they are suffering in their heads, in their bodies, because they cannot find the happiness that they desire. So, things do not give you health and wealth. Your thoughts do. Join me next week when I will present part 2 of Thoughts Become Things. And in that segment, I will offer some tips on how to translocate, how to transform your thinking. If you feel stuck in negativity and you feel hopeless, there is hope. You can break the mold that encases you towards feeling those negative feelings and free you to become a more positive thinker and a healthier individual. I thank you for joining me today here on Mould Breaker Empowerment Forum. I am your Mould Breaker Doc, Audrey Mellayne, and the goal of this 12-part series is to help you know, understand, and care for yourself. It is possible for you to live your best life now. And it's no cliche. Your thought become things. If you want things that are positive, uplifting, and motivating, inspiring, fulfilling, then you must change your thought processes. So join me again right here next week when we will take a second segment on thoughts becoming things, and I will introduce to you some tips on how to shift your paradigm, your thought processes, so that you can indeed live your best life now. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day.